So, what I'm about to explain in this stream is going to be quite hard for some people to understand and is quite traumatic. So, there's an advisory going out to warn people that what I am going to talk about may hurt some people's feelings. But I'll do my best to try and keep it clean. So, back in October 2022, I was taken to my local hospital because I'd been drinking quite a lot and I was quite unstable mentally. Apparently, I tried hanging myself. So my housemates called an ambulance and I was taken to the hospital. Once arriving at the hospital, I didn't want to be there. So I walked out of the hospital, still very intoxicated. I didn't walk too far, but I stumbled across a road that was the national speed limit, so 60 mile an hour. And I've walked onto this road and got struck by two cars that were apparently travelling around 65 miles per hour. I died at the scene. I was resuscitated. A local police officer who was patrolling the area called the ambulance. An air ambulance turned up. I was put into the helicopter, taken to a major trauma hospital in London called St George's Hospital. I died again in the helicopter. I was resuscitated back to life. Once in the hospital, I then spent 3 months in a coma, not an induced coma, just naturally in a coma because of the trauma. And then I woke up 3 months later. I looked down at my leg, realising I was in hospital, and saw metalwork on it. I will show you the metalwork in a later video. But yeah, I was very confused. Because the event was so traumatic, the brain naturally wiped it. I don't remember any of it at all. I don't even remember going to the hospital from my house, from my self-harming episode. It was a further 2 weeks in hospital before the psych team could tell me what had happened to me, what injuries had incurred, how I got there, because my mental state was not very good. They had to believe that I was in a mentally strong state to hear what they had to tell me. So they told me. Yeah, it was hard to hear. It's sorry, it's making me cry. They told me what had happened, that I'd got hit by two cars. My injuries were severe. I've bruised both my left and right hand side of my brain. I had a bleed on the brain. Both my shoulders were broken. 8 ribs were broken. My pelvis is now being held together by metal. I've got a nice 10-inch scar across the lower part of my belly where they implanted the metal. My right leg, which has got the metalwork on it still, my tibia and my fibula were smashed in at least 4 places, and my left leg is now completely numb. I can't move my foot. and it has quite extensive muscle damage. Even now, my left leg is still completely numb. The nerves, I've been told by the hospital, could take up to 3 years to heal. And that's if they do heal. If they're completely severed, they won't ever heal. I will be like it for the rest of my life. I was told in the hospital that they wouldn't operate on my left leg because they didn't want to make the situation worse than what it already was. Now, when I woke up in hospital, the bleed on my brain had stopped. Luckily, I didn't suffer any long-term effects from that. Both my shoulders were healed, my ribs were healed, and my pelvis was healed because I was in a coma for 3 months. The body had healed itself. So I just woke up. I couldn't move my right arm very well. Even now, to this day, the upper right hand side of my right arm, the muscles are still damaged. So I've got very little movement in that arm, and I couldn't clench my right fist. I've had physio with that I can now do, but I found it very hard to hold a knife when I ate my food at hospital. They had to put like a thick rubber tube around the shaft of the knife so I could hold it, because I couldn't clench my fingers together. So after that took them 2 weeks to tell me that. It shocked me massively. I was like, wow, because I didn't know how I'd got there or what happened to me. I was like, wow. So yeah, that's my experience of how I am today. I'm going to be making videos to show you the progress of me getting back to normal. At the moment, I'm bedbound. I have been bedbound since October 2022. I was in hospital for 8 months. I've been home since around April, May last year. I have carers that come to me 2 to 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once in the evening. They used to wash me because I was unable to do that, but I can now walk to my ensuite bathroom, which is 3 foot away from me in my room. They cook for me because I can't carry anything whilst using my crutches to get around. I have a Zimmer frame as well, which once I have this metal work removed from my right leg, I'm going to have to start using my Zimmer frame. So I have carers. I have a district nurse that comes once a week to change the pads around my pins on my right leg. The pharmacy comes to me once a week to give me my medication. And I have a mental health worker, CPN, that comes to me once a week to 2 weeks to help me with the trauma and depression, and just make sure that I'm okay. So I have a lot of outside help, which I'm grateful for. It's very much needed. So my life has completely changed for now. I will eventually get back to being as normal as I was before the accident that happened. So yeah, do join me if you wish to monitor and see my progress. It's going to be a hard ride, but I will get there. I'm quite a strong person. So yeah, thank you for listening to this podcast, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.